Alright guys, it is Kieran from RedDevilWeekly and we are live once again to preview another game, but this time in the Champions League, and it's a big one, 2 weeks ago we previewed the reverse fixture at Old Trafford, but now United head to Turin to face Juventus in a very, very interesting but difficult prospect, and I'm joined with none other than Jack Wall himself. So hello Jack.
You right, Kieran? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for coming back on. And if you guys want to check out his channel, his link will be in the description down below. Some great content coming there. Just you wait. So go and check that out. Really would recommend it. But of course, we're here to preview this monumental game, which has the potential to be an absolute classic. There was just someone walking behind me there. But anyway. Obviously, we've got a few people in. Welcome, Roberto Beswick, the resident Juventus fan. So welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining me. But yeah, I think coming into this game, we've come into this game, I feel, a lot better than we did going into the first Juventus game. Obviously, against Chelsea, we put in a good second half display before the game at Old Trafford, but the games before the Chelsea game weren't exactly, you know, confidence boosters. But we've come into this game on the back of two wins and two kind of decent performances at least. I mean, against Bournemouth, it was definitely a decent second half performance rather than a decent first half performance. First of all, just before we get into the game, Jack, what do you make of, just a quick mention, what do you think of the result on Saturday?
Yeah, it was an interesting one because the first half we were cut apart by Bournemouth, but in the second half we really turned it on. I thought the inclusion of Herrera on that midfield added a bit of bite and he nearly got on the score sheet, and then obviously Rashford coming on, that's going to boost his confidence. It is interesting though how we've kind of adapted without Lukaku, and it's going to be interesting to see if Lukaku can get his place back, because judging by the evidence of the last two games, I don't know if he deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think, you know, we seem to be a bit more dynamic up front without Lukaku. Obviously, Rashford's been taking that striker role instead of Lukaku. Originally, when Lukaku was dropped, I thought that Martial was going to have an opportunity. Against Bournemouth, Sanchez was played through the middle, so it's clear that Mourinho is trying out different things. And you know, obviously against Everton we saw Rashford, and against Bournemouth we saw Sanchez. And I'm not too sure, you know, who, I'm not too sure which one did the better job. I think they both have different things, which like Rashford's a lot, you know, obviously has a lot more pace in behind. But then Sanchez is very good at doing the link-up play, coming back from the forward line, you know, linking up with the likes of Mata and Fred in the midfield. So it'll be interesting to see who does take that role from Lukaku. But I don't think Lukaku is going to get back into the team anytime soon. I mean, there is a potential for Mourinho to use Lukaku in these sort of games because he's someone who he kind of trusts almost, and obviously with Juventus being a big game that it is, I don't know, you never know with Mourinho's tactics. Welcome to everyone who's just joined, by the way. Welcome, Roberto, as I said. Welcome, Dazza, on the stream. Dazza, thanks for joining. Go check out his channel as well in the description down below. But yeah, also Jack, who is Jack Wall, asked. Well, Jack obviously has been on the channel before for the last Juventus preview, I believe, with Asim from the Tactical Show. But this time he's on his own, and as Harry, who's just joined us, welcome Harry, thanks for joining. He says he's one of the best pundits around, and I don't think you can really argue with that. And you'll get to see a bit of his knowledge and inside knowledge and punditry, everything like that, throughout the course of the stream. But there you go. Welcome Nick, thanks for joining, and welcome Max as well on the stream, thanks for joining. Go check out Max's channel as well, link in the description down below. And of course, welcome Jack Vlogs on the stream, thanks for joining. But obviously, you know, we talked a bit about the week leading up to it. Two good results going into this one. Hopefully the confidence is high within the camp going into this one. And in my title, I put free hit. Now for me, I feel that if we are going to go through to the group, I don't believe that this game is going to have a massive impact, because for me,
I agree.
I look at the Valencia game and see the Valencia game is the game that we have to win. We have to win in Valencia, or at least get a point in Valencia, because if we lose to Valencia, You know, I think we'll probably go third in the group, and I think Europa League football will be looming once again for Manchester United. So for me, I feel like this is a bit of a free hit for us to kind of give it a go a bit. I'm not sure whether we are going to really give it a go because we're going away from home against a big team in the Champions League. And if you take what happened against Sevilla last season, we didn't really, we didn't really, pose too much of a threat. What do you make? What do you think, Jack? How do you see Mourinho setting up? Do you think he'll, go attacking from the start, or do you think he'll take more of a pragmatic approach?
Judging by Mourinho, I'd say pragmatic, but it's interesting because it is kind of, as you said, a bit of a free hit. Like, we don't need necessarily to get anything out of it, but if we do, it's a huge advantage going into the Valencia and Young Boys games. I think if Mourinho thought that he had enough to go there and get something, I think he'll sit deep and he'll try and maybe nick a 1-0 or a 0-0, something like that. That's just classic Jose away from home in a tough European game. He'll try and get whatever he can get. You see what we did it last season against Sevilla in the first leg. The only difference is we don't have a second leg to play, so we might as well try and nick a point. It might be the best option. If we do go attacking, I could see us getting ripped to shreds almost.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is a good point. I think, obviously away from home as well, it's going to be really, really difficult. But I feel like it'd be good to see us, at least go for it. I wouldn't like us to kind of just sit back and absorb them attacking us wave after wave after wave, and us, not challenging. But I do agree that it's going to be difficult. And if we do get a point off Juventus, I think that'd be a decent result, to be honest.
I agree with you that I want to see us attack, but I just can't see Jose Mourinho playing that way. It's just so against what Mourinho is all about in these games, and I really would want to see him put out an attacking lineup with Pogba, Fred, and Herrera in the midfield, and Martial, Rashford, and Sanchez, like a really attacking team. Maybe Juan Mata in there somewhere as well. But I just can't see him doing that, and I think he's gonna stick with Matic, sadly, I think, or he might bring in someone like a Fellaini, just a big lump to try and win those headers and try and nick something. But I want to see us go for it because, as you said, it is a free hit, but I can't see Jose doing it.
Yeah, it is hard to see Jose Mourinho doing it. I think, I do think he's going to be a bit more defensive. I think he would probably, if we got a 0-0 draw, obviously, I think for him that'd be a great result. But I think for him, he would not. I mean, he's not the kind of person who loses to the big teams by a massive margin. I mean, if we look at his record at Man United, I think the only time he's really lost to the big teams by a huge margin, as you said, at Chelsea when we lost 4-0 in his first season. Apart from that, I can't think of too many times where we've lost by more than a 2-goal margin. So I think he'll want to keep that the same and try and at least be very much because
if I think solid. His excuse to Ed Woodward would be, look, I went to one of the best teams in Europe and I lost. If he loses both games 1-0, he goes, look, with one defender, we don't concede those goals. I think that's the kind of a point he's trying to prove. He's going to say, look, we probably don't need an attacker, but look at our defence. That's where it's letting us down. We don't concede those goals. We take 2 points off Juventus. Exactly, so that's why, I think that's going to be what Mourinho will do.
Fair enough. A few of the comments here. By the way, Matthew Jones, you're still in here. I'm so sorry, mate. Honestly, I'm so sorry because I realised you were doing a stream, and I thought initially you were going to be doing it at 8:30 because it kind of set for 8:30. So I thought I'd be able to do this, and I just said I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, Matthew. I really do apologise. I do apologise. If you want to go subscribe to United Fan Focus, really would appreciate it, and I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. But it's my fault. I do apologise, mate. I do apologise for that. So go and check out United Fan Focus in the description down below. And sorry for that cock up. But anyway, welcome Red Army MUFC, by the way. Welcome Yash as well. A few of the comments here. Jack here says he's asking how his cross tomorrow. Oh, decent. Well, there you go. Well, good luck in that. Hopefully, there's both. You get the win there, and Man United get the win on Wednesday. So you put the link in there. Real Army MC says, "Am I late? I'm walking a long trek to my house from school." Well, no, you're not late at all, mate. You're not late at all. You're welcome to the party. Don't worry about that. Welcome Man United fan stand as well. Go check them out. Really would appreciate that. Rodney, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining, Rodney. Really appreciate it. As I said, go and check out Rodney's channel in the description down below. And I will be on another one of his podcasts on Thursday, which I'm really looking forward to. And you guys should really, go and check them out as well on his channel. Please do go check them out. And to everyone who's joined as well, Gareth, welcome to the stream. And welcome C. Doran, welcome to the stream, guys. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. Yash here says, hoping for a draw 1-1. We were unfortunate at Old Trafford. Pogba hit the post. Well, yeah, I think obviously Pogba did hit the post. He had a decent, shot hit the post. But I'm not sure really if we were that unlucky. For me, I'm not sure about you, Jack, but for me, in the last game against Juventus, they were quite dominant in large periods of the game. And we didn't have a lot of answer to what they, the way they played. So, what were your thoughts? Did you think we were unlucky last time out?
I think unlucky is maybe a bit. I think maybe we're lucky to keep it at 1-0. I thought David De Gea obviously pulled off that sensational save from Ronaldo, but there's not at one point where I thought, apart from the Pogba shot on his left foot that bounced and hit the post, we didn't create anything really. Like, we were so static up front, and to be honest, I think we were rather lucky that it ended 1-0 rather than unlucky that we didn't get anything from the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, their goal, it was a bit of it was a bit of kind of fortune that it fell to Dybala, but in the end, they probably should have had a few more goals. David De Gea as well with that save from Ronaldo, a brilliant save. I've got to say, watching that back, it looks a lot better than when I first saw it. It was a brilliant save from De Gea to stop Ronaldo from scoring. But I think they probably could have had more. But I think if we were lucky, if we got lucky on the day, it could have gone a different way. We could have potentially got a draw, but I don't think really we deserved a draw in that game. But there you go. Obviously, you guys can have your own thoughts, so please do leave your own thoughts in the comment section down below on the game. Gareth says United to destroy Juventus. I don't think so, Gareth, but you can always hope. I'm not that confident, unfortunately. Welcome, Brian. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. He says Jack Wall has the biggest set of balls. Well, there you go. Well, I don't have experience of that, but we'll take your word for it. Yash says agreed, but with the front three of Sanchez, Martial, and Rashford, we may have a draw. Hoping. Well, I mean, obviously, we are going to talk about who we might play up front. Because it has changed. From recent games, obviously Lukaku has been the centre man up front, and I guess that is also where where I'm going to start, Jack. What in terms of the team selection, do you think that Mourinho's going to go back to Lukaku, or do you think he's going to keep Sanchez up front, or potentially bring in Rashford up front?
I don't think he play Lukaku because I think he said he had a slight knock the other day, so I'll probably keep Lukaku out. And I think he might start Lukaku for the derby out of nowhere. I think he might just stick him in there, and I think he might be telling that to Lukaku to kind of wait. You'll be starting for the derby. You're going to be the main man there, and I think he might stick with Sanchez because I think Sanchez is kind of made for these European games. He's quick, slight, low centre of gravity. He could cause damage to these Juve centre halves if he can nip in between the lines. So I'd probably go with Sanchez, and I'd probably put Martial on one wing, and then I'm him and Han between putting Matt on the right to then cut in central and almost make it like a diamond with the midfield three. But I'll say Rashford.
Rashford, interesting. I mean, to be fair, obviously you put Sanchez up there. I'd probably agree. I feel like with Sanchez up front, I don't know. For me, I feel like he's got a bit more end product than Rashford. Obviously, as we spoke about, they both have different kind of skill sets. I would say Rashford is definitely not quicker and is much more dynamic going forward. But I feel that Sanchez, as I said, is better at the link-up play, and got the assist for Martial's goal, got in the right position, and produced the quality ball into the box. So,
yeah, I also think that Sanchez, he has that experience of these big European away nights. We've seen him score big goals for Arsenal in the Champions League. Not that they're in it anymore, but when they were, Sanchez would pop up with a lot of big goals for them. I remember he scored one against Bayern Munich away, so he has big experience on European nights against these big teams. So that's what gave me the edge over Rashford, just that nous and that know-how in the big games.
There you go. I've just seen one of the comments here. I'm just going to get out of the way. Well, Doran, thanks for joining in. But apparently Doran wants to say that he says hi to you.
Oh, I don't know who he is, but whoever he is, hello.
There you go. There you go. There's your shout out, mate. Don't worry about it. We always give the shout outs eventually. Anyway, welcome Daily Stobart Spars from the stream. Thanks for joining. Please do leave a like, guys, if you haven't already as well. But yeah, as I said, obviously, guys, as well, get your lineup predictions in the comments right now as well, because we will be moving on to our full lineup predictions very, very shortly. And also, just leave your thoughts generally. How would you approach this game? How would you go about it? If you were Jose Mourinho, what do you think we need to do in order to beat Juventus away from home or get a result? And how can we improve from last time? Welcome the Red Devil, by the way, onto the stream. Thanks for joining. Go check out Zach's channel in the description down below. But I'm going to open that one up to you, Jack. Obviously, from last time, there were some obvious, negative points. How would you improve from that? To adapt how we played at home to get a better result in Turin?
I keep the same keeper and back for. I think Delo still might have a slight knock, but I play Young anyway. Young, Shaw, Lindelof, Smalling. I think that the real problem for us in the last Juventus game was our transition from the midfield to the forwards, and that's where the problem with the ManUnitedMax lies. He's so slow, lethargic on the ball, not very creative. A lot of times it's sideways or backwards. A lot of times you saw that pass from Matic out to Ashley Young at right back, and then Ashley Young would try and cross it. We need something more dynamic than that. So I'd stick Herrera in there. I think Fred, again, someone who's made for these European nights. So Fred would be in there, and of course Paul Pogba back in Turin. Might have a point to prove, or might want to do something there for against Juve. And then as I said before, I think it will be Martial on the left. Again, I'm not sure between Mata and Rashford. I'll come back to that. I think it will be Sanchez up front, and I keep forgetting about Jesse Lingard as well. I'm going to say Jesse Lingard on the right.
Lingard inclusion. I think that'd be his first start in quite a while as well. That would be an interesting one.
I just he's like, I think he's in between Mata and Rashford in a way. He's kind of he's got the not as fast as Rashford, but he is quite quick, and he's able to play 1 and 2 touch football. He's very clever, intelligent player, and he makes very good off the ball runs. So I'd stick Lingard in there. I think he'd be able to link the midfield and the forwards very well.
Interesting. I feel like, that is going to be a strong enough lineup for me. I think to at least get a point, surely. I mean, if we play the right way as well. But just quickly, I also want to, you mentioned Pogba there coming back to Turin. What did you make of Paul Pogba's comments? Obviously, there was one one of his leaked comments saying that Old Trafford was his home, or Man United was always going to be his home, and then he also described Juventus as his home. So I mean, obviously, I'm not sure how either potentially his comments have been twisted. It wouldn't be new to suggest that the media are twisting Man United players' comments, but there you go. But what do you make of his comments? I don't really know how to sum it up, but what do you make of them?
Well, from what I've heard, obviously when he signed for United, he said, Manchester is my home, this is where I want to be, this is where I kind of developed at first, I got my chance, blah, blah, blah. And he said Manchester's his home, and now he's saying Turin's in his home. But I think the words they said was that's where he kind of got his proper first team chance, that's where he scored his first professional goal, it's where he played the Champions League first, all those kind of stuff. So in that sense, it probably is his footballing home, where he kind of made a name for himself. Like you'd say, probably Ronaldo might say that Lisbon's his home, but maybe Old Trafford is his footballing home, because that's where he really burst onto the scene. So I don't see any problem with the comments. Obviously, Pogba's had his trouble with media and whatever in the past, but I wouldn't read too much into that, to be honest.
Yeah, neither would I, mate. Neither would I, to be honest. By the way, Matthew Jones, once again, do apologise, mate. Really do apologise, sincerely. I messed it up. I do apologise. But as I said, go and check out United Fan Focus in the description down below. As well, of course, my fabulous guest, Jack, on the stream right now. If you want to go check out his channel, some great content coming very, very soon. Go and check it out in the link in the description down below if you haven't already. Yash says, if Lukaku is not injured, Jose will start him. We need a physical presence. I mean, it's an interesting one, a different aspect to the argument. Obviously, Lukaku potentially might not provide that much dynamic ability up front, but Yash is arguing there potentially need of a physical presence. It's an interesting one. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, sorry, can you repeat the question there? I didn't quite broke up there a little bit.
Oh no, so Yash was just saying that actually kind of a different argument was that, you know, Lukaku does need to start because we might need a physical presence against Juventus. Do you think there's anything in that?
Possibly, but I think we tried Lukaku in the last game as a big physical presence, and I mean it because Bonucci and Chiellini are quite tall, strong centre halves. That might seem like a good option, but we did have Lukaku for the first game, and it didn't really seem to work out too well. That's why I'd probably go for someone like Sanchez, a little bit more experienced. He's got the pace in behind, and Chiellini and Bonucci, they're not spring chickens. They're not as fast as they used to be. And if the likes of Pogba, if Herrera, if he plays, Fred, if he plays, can find that one pass to Sanchez in between the lines, we could score a goal. So, yeah, I'd play Sanchez, but I could see an argument for Lukaku. Personally, I wouldn't have him, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, you know, Mourinho after the game said Bonucci and, was it Bonucci? No, it wasn't.
Bonucci,
it was
Bonucci and Chiellini.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, they could, teach people how to defend.
Degree in defending, or
exactly
Harvard University.
I mean, you make a good point. They did, you know, deal with Lukaku very easily indeed. I mean, to be honest with you, it didn't cause too much of a threat, to be honest. So, yeah, look, I feel like, you know, maybe changing up, giving them a different, something different to face, I think definitely would be a good option. By the way, C. Doran, by the way, if you don't stop doing that, I'm probably going to have to time you out. I don't like doing it. Obviously, that's why I haven't really done it often, but I don't really like doing it because I like people to enjoy the streams, but, spamming and things like that.
Mate, get him gone.
Weird. Oh, get him gone.
Get him gone.
Well, that's all. I'm only following orders, mate, but there you go. Yeah, mate. Well, thanks for tuning in anyway, mate, C. Doran, but I'm afraid I've just removed that message. I do apologise, mate. If you want to contribute something to discussion, you can do, but how do you do this? Oh, you can just do that, can't you?
Hit him on block or something.
Yeah, mate. I do apologise. Anyway, I don't like doing that, but sometimes it's necessary, I guess. But as I say, if you want to shout out, I guess. Shout out to C.
Right, okay. Shout out to Harry Dalziel or whatever his name is. Shout out to Brian Butler. Let's get on with this.
There you go. Jack, the man himself, cleared that up nicely. Rodney, well, thanks for joining, Rodney. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for tuning in as well. He says Lukaku can stay on the bench. There you go. Some damning reports from Rodney there. I agree, to be honest. I don't see, what's the definition of insanity? Trying the same thing and expecting different results. Why would Lukaku up front be any different? We've got a Juventus perspective here. Roberto says, my lineup as a Juventus fan, Szczesny, Sandro, Chiellini, Bonucci, Cancelo, Matuidi, Can, Pjanic, Douglas, Flash, Costa, Dybala, and CR7. I think that's an unchanged team, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna ask Roberto about his team. I think Chan didn't play in the Old Trafford games. That's an interesting one. I don't think he did anyway. And then did Douglas Costa start? I don't think Douglas Costa started either. I think it was Cuadrado. I'm not sure. You have to. Yeah, it was. Roberto, you have to.
I think it was. I think you're right. Actually, yeah, I think it was. I think Cuadrado did start actually, if I remember. Yeah, I do remember that. There you go.
I think that's a good team though. I liked Chan when he was at Liverpool. I even though he's a Liverpool player, obviously. I thought he was a decent player. He added good energy in the midfield. He's obviously tall, physically strong. He's got an eye for a pass. He can also has an eye for a goal. So obviously he's not going to be one of their big danger men. Obviously Dybala, Ronaldo, Douglas Costa, as Roberto said. But he's someone new that we haven't played against, so might be someone to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, as Rodney's put it there, United facing that Juve lineup would mean a heavy defeat for United. They've got quality all over the pitch. And even last last time he played them, no Mandzukic, no Douglas Costa, and they still, dominated us for about 90 minutes, away from home. So it's going to have to be a massive performance for us to get any sort of result there. And if we do, I think Juventus, I'm not sure about you, Roberto, but if I was a Juventus fan and let this Man United team, get a result away from home, it would be an embarrassing result. I feel like, on paper, yes, the teams are kind of similar, but in terms of where they both are in the season, it wouldn't be a good result. Yash says, Sanchez, Martial, Rashford, Matic, Herrera, Pogba. There's one thing I want to pick you up on there, Yash. Smalling, Victor, Shaw, Young, De Gea. I agree with everything else there. Mata, Fred and Lingard subs. If Lukaku is fit, start him in place of Rashford. So one of the things I want to pick you up on there, Yash, is the inclusion of Nemanja Matic. For me, I feel like Nemanja Matic's performances haven't been great as of late. And I'm not sure whether he would benefit from a rest similar to Lukaku, or whether we're just finding out kind of, Matic is not the player that we thought he was. Because I thought last season he actually put in some really decent performances for us. What do you think about that, Jack?
Well, obviously, Matic isn't getting any younger. He's over 30. He went to the World Cup. Obviously, didn't get out of the group stage with Serbia, but then didn't have a proper pre-season. Had to have I forget what exactly it was, but it was some sort of surgery as well. And then for him to hop back in and hardly miss a game is a bit strange for me. I think a lad that I know of on Full Time Devils, Stephen Howson, said that Matic could do it a pre-season in a way, just maybe have a month off just to recoup, kind of get back his energy, and then he needs to be challenged for his place, because at the moment he's putting in any sort of performances he wants, and he's just getting away with it. Whereas if that was a young player, like we saw Andreas Pereira against Brighton, didn't have a very good game, and he's been kind of exiled ever since. So I think Matic needs to be taken out of the team for maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month if necessary. One, just to build back up that fitness and give him a well-deserved rest, because he has played a lot of football for someone who's over 30, in the Premier League especially. And then two, because he hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of do agree that I feel like it's a bit of fatigue for Matic as well. Rodney here says, first of all, he says Chan's energy in the midfield has to be matched by United midfield. Yeah, I agree with that. We have to match them, really.
That's why I go Herrera, yeah.
Yeah, Herrera, exactly. DRDR on the stream, by the way, thanks for joining. He comes in with a very optimistic, we will lose. So there you go. Optimism there at its finest. By the way, I just want to say a shout out to Mr. Mike HD. Very, very good FIFA content. If you want to go check him out, really would appreciate it. Obviously a City fan, and obviously we're playing Man City on Sunday, and depending on how the event goes, yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's have optimism until the day comes, because I think the Juventus result could actually swing how we play against Man City, but who knows? And Ronnie here says Matic should be driving Lukaku to the spa for the next game. Yeah, for the next 2 games. I totally agree. I think, yeah, they both should be sitting there with cucumbers over their eyes, and having a lovely back massage. That'd be great. That'd be great. I wouldn't want to watch, but it'd be great for them. Just to relax, Daily Sobot Spot says, I think Juventus are too good for us. Again, I'm seeing a few negative comments, guys. Come on, guys. We haven't lost yet. Come on. We can do this. But I know what you mean. Yash here says, I know Matic is tired, but do you really think we can have Pogba, Fred, Herrera? That looks suicide. Matic is the one who does not cross the halfway line, just as in front of central defence. I think Matic could potentially provide a kind of, if on a good day, when he's playing well, he could potentially, provide, a good screen for the back four. But really realistically play well. That's the risk you ought to take. I mean, obviously, Jack, there you've gone with Herrera, and I think that's sort of the similar role in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and I had a little bit of a look at Matic's kind of positioning, kind of analysed it after the Bournemouth game. And a lot of the times, if you actually watch, Matic wasn't offering a lot of protection. There was 1 or 2 times where the Bournemouth was a Ryan Fraser or David Brooks was getting into positions on the edge of the box and being allowed to shoot, where Matic should be covering that man. And also, if you watch Matic ventures forward at times, and a lot of the times Fred was left in that holding midfield number 6 role. And if you look at the stats, Matic ran the most out of anyone on the pitch. He ran 12.1 kilometers in the whole game, which shows that he didn't just sit in front of the back four. He was running around a lot, and that's not what we want from Matic. He's not the creative player that Herrera, that Fred, that Pereira, Pogba is. So if he's not going to do his job properly, he shouldn't be getting away with it.
Exactly, mate. You're being paid for a reason. Paid for a reason. There's people at this club. There's people who support this club. Millions of people who support this club who put on that shirt for free. They put on that shirt for free. So you better be putting in the good performances. And Matic, unfortunately, has to be treated like any other player. I'm not sure if Mourinho's going to do that. Obviously, Matic is seen as one of Mourinho's favourites. Ronnie here says realism of RedDevilWeekly. Yeah, realism. I love that. And Ronnie also says he must have forgotten the goal Matic scored against Palace. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, as Yash obviously, he does say that he kind of doesn't go past the halfway line. But obviously, Jack there, as I said, we said earlier in the show, he's got the stats to back up the facts. Jack Wall, that's the motto, and he's got the stats there. And Matic actually did the most running out of any player, so he doesn't just sit in front of the back four. He's running about everywhere. So I mean, I don't know. I just wouldn't play Matic for me. I feel like Herrera, I think when he came on against Everton, he looked decent. So I feel like he's earned a place in that starting 11 for me.
And I think if you look at a lot of United fans, sorry to cut you off there, Kieran.
No problem.
But like when Martial has a good game, people are always like, oh my God, how has he dropped Martial and put in Sanchez a lot of last season? So if players are playing well, Ander Herrera came on, and if you listen to anyone's opinion on the game, he came on and he did a good job. And in my opinion, what he did in that last half an hour, 35 minutes that he was on the pitch, did more than Matic in the full game. So I think, does that not warrant a starting place over Nemanja Matic, just because he's someone who needs to protect our shoddy back four? Is there no one else at the club that can do that? Remember when we didn't have Matic? Who did it then? We still had a solid defensive record. So it's not like the defensive record has gone up massively because Nemanja Matic is sitting there, which obviously I've shown he doesn't sit there because he does a lot of running on that pitch. But Herrera did that job. I remember, obviously I'm going to bring it back to the Chelsea game years ago, when he did Hazard, he got a goal and assist. But he also sat in front and he did a disciplined job. So we have other players at the club who can do that. So I just don't see how Matic is warranting the starting 11 place.
There you go. I do kind of I do see where you're coming from, mate. To be fair, and as Ronnie says there, Jack, you talk sense, sound. There you go. As I said, I told you. This guy's the real deal. He's the real deal. And if you want to go check out Jack's channel, there will be some brilliant football content coming on there very, very soon. If you want to go check his channel out, link in the description down below. If you want more of that cutting edge analysis.
And cheers to Dazzer's football stand, who's just subscribed to me there. So thanks very much for that.
Yeah, Dazza, always reliable, beautiful, from the Middlesbrough, north east of England, as he says. Daily Snowball Sport says, I think we can win. There you go. A bit of positivity. Hold on. We only lost 1-0 to them at home, so if we put in a stronger team on the pitch, I think we have a chance. To be fair to you, mate, I feel like we had the strongest lineup possible last time we played them, to be honest. So I mean, we had Sanchez on the bench, but apart from that, and to be fair, I know this is going to sound weird, but I feel like I wish we had Marouane Fellaini at least as a bench option. I feel like at least he provides a plan B. But anyway, that's yeah.
Because I think how many players in Serie A like Marouane Fellaini? I'd imagine not a high percentage. So he last 10 minutes, we're losing 1-0, we're drawing 0-0. Bring on Fellaini, get Ashley Young to do what he does best, pump it onto Fellaini's head, and we might have got some joy out of that. But it's disappointing not to have what seems to be our most solid plan B, which seems like a ridiculous solid plan B when you have the amount of attacking quality that we have, only to have Marouane Fellaini as a plan B, but he's the best option we have at the moment.
Exactly. So let's wish him a speedy recovery. I'm going to read out all these comments, and then I'm going to get into the score predictions, because my lineup isn't exactly too much different to what Jack suggested. So I'm not going to bother really doing a massive thing about it. Roberto here says, yeah, he has a great shot on him, but he's just slow and static and very poor. Obviously talking about Matic there from a Juventus point of view. So even he's saying that don't play Matic.
He should be wanting Matic to play.
Exactly. Even he says he'd get bullied by Matuidi, and I'd be inclined to agree. Potentially even Pjanic would probably pass around him. But anyway, we're gonna move on now to the score predictions. So everyone who is watching right now, get your score predictions in right now. I'll read them all out. So please do right now. Get your score predictions in, and also if you've managed to watch this and got to this point in the video, thank you very much. Please do leave your score predictions in the comment section down below. And
make sure you leave a like on the video, and make sure you subscribe to Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, a fantastic channel. And I know he won't say it himself, so make sure you subscribe to him and get your score predictions in there.
Well, Jack, mate, I appreciate it, mate. I absolutely appreciate it. And as I said, go check him out whilst you're here as well in the description down below. And shout out to Jack as well. Shout out to Jack as he's asking for it. But anyway, yeah, if you haven't already, please do feel free to leave a like as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But I can see you guys getting your score predictions in there right already. I'm going to go to you, Jack. Now, what is your score prediction for this game?
1-0 to Manchester United.
Oh, I like it. Why are you going for 1-0?
Because I can't bring myself to predict a draw or a loss, and I can't see us scoring more than 1 goal. Simple
but effective, to be fair. I'm not too confident, to be honest.
Neither am I.
But I'm going to read out a few of these before I get into my one. Roberto says 3-1 to Juventus. Obviously, Roberto, Juventus fan, feeling very confident. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You know, I mean, obviously after dominating us at home, why wouldn't you dominate us away? DRDR says 3-0 we lose. Oh no, guys, come on, let's see some more optimistic. But yeah, fair. It could be 3-4-5. You never know. Yash says optimistic 1-1. There you go. I'll take a draw. Listen, I'll take a draw all day long. Daily Star Spurs 3-2 United. That would be a cracking.
Maybe if the game was 2 days.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, to be fair, that would be a recreation of the one in 1999. Obviously, I wasn't born then, but I've seen the tapes. Yeah. And that was a great game.
What game?
Rodney goes with a 2-2 or a Juventus win. My heart made a prediction, and so did my head. So there you go. Not even his heart goes with the United win. Oh, goodness me. Jack goes to the 2-0 win to Juventus. So all in all, I think the general consensus is either a Juventus win or a lucky draw.
So that means we're going to win.
Yeah, there you go. Let's hope so. Let's hope that's a good omen. So my score prediction then. Well.
So Kieran, what did you say your lineup was going to be? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'll run through my lineup quickly. I've gone with David Hare in goal. I've got to stay with the same 4-3-3. I'm going to go with Young. I don't think he's going to change anything. Young, Lindelof, Smalling, and Shaw. I'm going to go with 3 in midfield. I would like to see Herrera in there, but if I was going to predict a centre midfielder, I'd probably say he's going to play Matic. I feel like he's not going to.
I'd be the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to put. I guess as a prediction, I'm going to put Matic in there, but as a as like a personal preference.
If you were the manager, yeah.
Yeah. Pogba, and then I'll put Fred in there.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, although Mata potentially, I don't know. But then obviously the front three, I'll go with Martial on the left. And I tell you what, Martial, if he can step up in this game, that'll stand out a big statement. So Martial on the left.
Yeah.
Sanchez up front. And either Mata or Rashford on the right hand side. I feel like he might go with Mata just because of that experience. And I feel like he's going to go with experience in this game. He'll want big players to step up, and I think Mata is going to go there. I think we'll have Rashford and Lingard on the bench as subs. The same thing as what happened against Bournemouth. And obviously Rashford came on and scored the goals. So hopefully that happens again to win the game. So that is my starting lineup there. Jack's target is 70. Jack's target is 70 subs. So go and check out Jack Vlogs' channel. But my score prediction. Let's get to it. My score prediction. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go. I mean, I would say a 0-0 draw, but I feel that's boring. It's boring, but I feel like it could be. I feel like Mourinho might just go literally part the bus defensive and try and grind out a 0-0, similar to what happened in Sevilla. All right, you know what? My head goes with a 0-0 draw. My head goes 0-0 draw. My heart still can't see us winning, so I go with a 1-1 draw.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like, you know, potentially Sanchez will score for United if we do get the goal, and I feel like Dybala once again, or maybe Ronaldo as well, could get a goal. But there you go. So my head goes with a 0-0 draw. My heart goes with a 1-1 draw. So either way, it's going to be a draw for me. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. We're going to end it here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. As I said, thank you very much, Jack, for coming on the channel. Really appreciate it.
No problem, mate. Cheers for having me, pal.
No problem.
Just to give the fans one more bit of optimism before I go, last 2 times Manchester United have travelled away to Juventus, we have won both games the last 2 times. So we're probably going to win again.
That is why you're on the channel. Getting that optimistic stats in there. I tell you what, he's got the stats to back up the facts. As I said, go check out his channel. Go check out his channel in the link in the description down below. Really would recommend it. And as I said, you know, as he said there, last 2 times we've beaten Juventus. Let's make it a hat-trick. Roberto says probably. I thought you were confident, Roberto. I thought you were confident. Oh.
You see, you can't handle the stats, mate.
Exactly. You can't. As soon as the stats come in. Oh, well. Good luck to you, Roberto. Of course. United will not win 60. He's 5% confident. He's 95% confident that Juventus will win there. So still mostly confident. But look. Let's hope for a good game at least. Even if we do lose, at least let's hope we give it a go. Let's hope it's not a boring, you know, 1-0 loss again, because I can't take that. I'd rather us lose 3-2 than lose 1-0, to be honest with you. But, you know, guys, that is going to be the end of the stream. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched. Please do leave a comment down below if you haven't already. As well, guys, go and check out Fan Vibe in the description down below if you haven't already as well. They kind of partnered up with me. But not really. It was just one of those things that someone came out. So I saw like a comment who said, point me in direction of the website. It's a very good website where you can kind of interact with other, footballing users. And they gave me this little link. So if you want to, follow me on Fan Vibe, and I'll be doing some like content and things like that on there. Some polls, things like that. Go and check out in the description down below if you haven't already. And create an account, things like that. I'm RedDevilWeekly on there as well. But yeah, if you want to do that, feel free to do that. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully, we'll be speaking to you on the review with a very, very positive result. And United somewhat safe in the group. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks, of course, to my guest, Jack, for coming on. Link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Cheers, bye.